Hey, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Looking at a 2 minute chart of this monster. Seriously, solid trade for us today. This TSM. We had KL and TSM for our two stocks we're looking at for today. So let's kind of walk through the process here, what we did, what we saw, and how we managed this beast of a trade. So you can see obviously this light gray in the middle. This is after hours yesterday and pre-market this morning. So obviously put in its highs right at the bell. At pre-market, and then obviously sold off into pre-market and printed its lows. We didn't put the pre-market lows at this long engulfing, because this was obviously a little bit out of the ordinary, so we just want to keep it at this flat rate. So anyway, it obviously opened to the low of the day. We saw this reversal, but we don't like to get into anything until it's above or below pre-market levels. It's just it's not a hard set rule, but we like to do that. So what caught our attention, obviously we saw that it broke this level that obviously it couldn't break in the pre-market session after 8 a.m., which is when the institutional owners, investors hop in board. And it broke it, and it formed a flag. So definitely put it on watch. So we're thinking we're going to take this thing. Think it's going to break through pre-market highs. So we're still stalking it. Once it broke, we put our starter in. We were anticipating a nice run, obviously, to our 80-50 price target, right? So put our starter in. We ran into obviously its resistance all intraday, and then pulled back, but it held. Remember, resistance becomes support. So when this support level held nicely and bounced and took out this intraday high, we got full size. So now we're full size with our target at 80-50. This thing just took off. As you can see, volume came in and just exploded. So we started to scale out when we got to the 80-50, because obviously this is a resistance level that we already predetermined. So we didn't want it to hit it and reverse it, so we scaled out. We were 50% here. It cracked right through it, so obviously we booked profits for no reason. But anyway, it's nice to pay yourself. And then it ran into its intraday high here. Then it sold off. So then we started to sell off again. We had 25% left through this consolidation, because when we saw a strong reversal back, we're like, okay, it's already broke through its resistance level. It's already reached its ATR. Don't think it's going to go to this 83. So we were like, when we saw a strong reversal, strong engulfing, we're like, okay, let's just pretty much book it all, but leave a little bit on the table just in case. But when we saw this sell-off back and bounce right off of resistance, now support, and started to trade again, can kind of consolidate, we're like, shit, this thing is going to break out again. And it did exactly that to a T, guys. So now we're at 25%. We started to scale back in. We weren't full size until it broke. We were 75% when it got to this intraday high. When it cracked that high, we got full size again. And where are we taking it? Taking it to 83. But there's no way we're thinking it's going to go this high, because we're already at 5-point ATR at this point, and the ATR is 3.67. So we're extended. So we were anticipating a break below. Reversal, right? So anyway, we're back on full size again. Consolidates a little bit more, and we get this break above. We booked it at 850. We just literally sold everything at 850, clearly too soon. As you can see, it's still running. We got another hour left in the session. That being said, always want to leave a little bit on the table, but we didn't want to get greedy. We pretty much got the whole move. We didn't get the move from VWAP, but we got the move from pre-market highs. But again, reaching 2 tiers of resistance, we didn't want to get greedy here, so that's why we wanted to book at 8250. It's a nice round number. A lot of obviously profit taking or selling around these whole numbers like that. So we reached 8250. We booked it all, and we were all cash. So it was a solid trade for us. I did not expect it to run the way it ran. But what you want to look at and take a lesson from is, when obviously, depending on, listen, it had a gap up and then it sold off yesterday, like we were talking about. We took this short, which was very, very nice yesterday. But again, this was just all positioning for the boys for, this thing's probably going to run for the next couple of days at this rate. So when you have this strong reversal, taking out resistance on pre-market levels, look at pre-market highs get taken out. This is your entries, guys. The entry actually could have been right here because obviously it couldn't break above pre-market resistance when the boys came in at 8 a.m. So once it broke that, that was the entry. But you know, we wanted to be a little more conservative. We didn't get until obviously the pre-market high, and then pullback it was on. So you know, reaching 2 levels of resistance, solid. So whenever you see a strong, obviously this is a clear imbalance, right? And you have this more consolidation, so it's a rally, base rally. So whenever you have this base and it breaks up to the upside, scale back in. If you're all cash, get in, or obviously if you're just, you know, kind of half position, manage your core, then build into your full position. So remember, price can go much further than what we all expect, and this was a perfect example of that, guys. So you know, one of those man, was a huge day, huge trade for us. Management was spot on. The ads were spot on. Didn't want to. I mean, looking at this hindsight now, I mean, you know, we booked too much profit on when it broke above this 80-50 level. We saw a strong reversal, but again, resistance becomes support, so we should have held a little longer because obviously we're so far from VWAPs. We thought it was just going to crack and probably test VWAP again, but we didn't expect it to hold like this. Anyway, you know, it is what it is. I mean, not going to be greedy. It was a very successful day for us. KL, we're going to put a lesson on KL. We got stopped out real quick, but we're going to put up that real quick for you guys. But yeah, TSM, man, check this chart out, study it, and any question, reach out, guys. All right, later.
Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our trading videos.